Oh, God. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, General Sam, back at it again with another episode of Forehead Fables podcast. This is episode like 19 or 20 or something. It would be episode 20, 21 or something if my last episode, which had Aqua FPS in it, and it was a banger and shit happened. We talked. It got deep down to the core. There was feelings. There was love interests. Who knows? There was all sorts of shit going on. And then the fucking podcast just whoop, delete. Like, his audio track is gone. I don't know where it went. And I tested it out. This is like the first podcast back with my fucking dirt shit Razer laptop. See the little Razer logo right there? That's the mark of shitty craftsmanship right there. I just got it back, and I was setting everything back up, and I got the new mixer, the same one that I had on my old PC, and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to give this thing a little testaroo. So I went down into a Discord channel with some random people, talked to them for a second, recorded it, and then went to go look at it on the Premiere thing. It was working fine. Got up from my fucking desk, walked in there, made 2 cappuccinos, came back, sat down, recorded the entire podcast with Aqua, and apparently his audio track isn't even there. I touched nothing. I messed with nothing. And then I send it off to my editor, and he says, hey, Sam, the audio track's not there. So I sat back down at the laptop, haven't touched it since, right? And I did another tester audio thing just to see if everything's working fine. And it was it worked fine. I did nothing. It worked, did the podcast, didn't work, and then was like, maybe something fucked up. Tried it again, did another test. Fucking thing doesn't work. I am absolutely livid. But you know, that's not what matters, because what matters is that now you're getting a solo podcast with apparently my footage is underexposed because I'm looking at it, but I don't feel like getting up and fixing it. So you're dealing with dark, grim, angry Sam, whether you like it or not. And my voice cracked. That's how angry I am. I'm about to start crying. Stalt, who's my editor, I got my own Jamie right now. Stalt, if you see a tear roll down my cheek, you cut it out. You cut it out of this video, by God. I don't want to look like a fool in front of these people. I'm pissed. Very angry. So, yeah, impromptu. I got to pick up my daughter in an hour. So I have to basically make the best use of this fucking hour right now to do a podcast. First take. One take only. That's what's happening. You're getting what this has, whether you like it or not. Start do as little cuts as possible. This is just gonna... All right, so, and I deleted all my fucking notes from the last podcast, so I'm really fucking winging it. First things first, we're going to talk about women. Now that I'm all worked up and angry. Now, people have been calling me, like, Aqua sometimes. He'll come at me and he'll be like, dude, you're kind of, like a misogynist, right? I'm not a misogynist. I've had that, for some reason, I have this stigma of being a misogynist, which I think I'm not. I just don't like to cut people slack based on their gender, I think is what it is. And so every day I get on this Discord, and there's always some new girl that I have to fucking talk to because she is a girl. And the people that have the perms on the Discord are like, oh, that's a female? Well, now she all of a sudden is cool enough to talk to us. Basically is what it is. She gets preferential treatment, special treatment, just because she's got a vaginus. And the way I look at it is I look at everybody and I go, hey, would we still be talking to this person if they were a guy? And the answer 99.9% of the time is absolutely not, because they bring nothing to the table conversation-wise. The only cool fucking girl I've seen on the Discord is Kinchi. She's cool as shit, and she's been there since the beginning. I wouldn't say she's cool as shit. I don't talk to her all the time because we, don't really get along. But I understand why people would talk to her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not hankering every day to get on and talk to Kinchi, but she has her own circle of friends. She's held her own. She's earned the right to be there. But a lot of the other girls, not so much, right? So there was this girl that every fucking day I'd get on, and I wouldn't even say she was a friend of my friend, because what it is I have a friend who then has his friends, and I have to fucking talk to them. Every day I have to talk to these people when they're really not my friends. They're friends of my friends. this girl was the friend of my friend's friends. So she was way down the fucking line of people that I didn't want to talk to. And she was in the room almost every day. I'm not going to say her name because her life's already in shambles. But I was always like, why the fuck are we talking to this girl? Why are we talking to her? Why is she in here? Is there any reason besides she's a girl and you guys are a bunch of fucking losers? That's really the only reason I could think of. Is these guys are fucking losers and she's a female that's talking to them. So I figured that's probably the only reason why she's there. And it turns out that she had a boyfriend. Her boyfriend, I think, was on the server too. And he found out that she had sent nudes to one of these other guys. And so then the relationship unraveled. And then after that was out in the open, right after the fallout, all the guys started comparing stories. Turns out she had sent nudes to all the guys individually. She had sent them all to him. And I'm like, dude, that's why we were talking to her. And I'd asked them before. I was like, are we talking to her just because she's a chick? And they're like, no, she's cool. Oh, yeah? Well, does it have anything else to do with it that she sent you nudes? Does that have any weight in why we're talking to her? Might be because you're also getting titty pics and shit from her, because coincidentally, now after that's all out in the open, she ain't around anymore. It's probably because of her own accord. She probably left, being all embarrassed and shit, knowing that now that the veil has fallen, the facade's fallen, and everybody knows that she was just there to get some attention. And now I look like this huge fucking misogynist because I was like, yay, she's gone. And I'm telling you guys, I got nothing against women. I really don't. They're awesome, Without them, life would suck. And I'm willing to bet probably wouldn't be born, right? My chances of being born without a woman, pretty slim. But they get ridiculously stupid, like treated like queens on the internet. I can't stand it. All right, next thing on the list. We talked about the Lighthouse. Oh man, me and Aqua, we gabbed and gibbed about that Lighthouse movie for the longest time, and I can tell you it was a hoot, and dare I say it, a holler, but I don't really remember what we said. Oh, I remember what it was. Okay. So the Lighthouse, right? You guys were talking about that movie, and you're like, Sam, you need to see that movie. So I saw the movie. I bought it for $8.99 on Amazon Video or whatever, and I watched it with the sound of my daughter screaming and playing with toys. Not a good juxtaposition when you the two clashed horribly. But from what I did hear of the movie, there was lots of foghorns constantly going on in the background. And a great movie, though. It was really good. I'm not going to say I liked it more than that guy's other movie, The Witch. But Willem Dafoe, dude, he picked this movie up and put it on his oddly shaped back and carried it so hard. Not saying Robert Pattinson wasn't good. Robert Pattinson has gone from the hunky little dude from those stupid vampire movies to the hunky dude from the Lighthouse movie that throws shit and diarrhea in his own face. But it was a good movie, man. That production house, A24, that made this thing, they're the new Miramax. I'm calling that. Miramax in the late 80s, early 90s. They were pumping out weird gems of movies, right? They would get all the artsy fartsy movies and they would put them out and they were great. And now A24 is doing the exact same thing, putting out Midsommar, The Lighthouse. I think they made Midnight. No, wait, what was that other movie they made? It doesn't matter. Point is, they're just like Miramax, minus Harvey Weinstein raping everybody as the CEO. I'm pretty sure they don't have a rapist CEO, but they're making good stuff. There is a scene in, what's great about this is Stalt is editing this, and I've already told him this story, so he gets to hear it a second time, and he's probably just grimacing thinking about it. But there's a scene in this Lighthouse movie where Stalt, you listening? Where where Willem Dafoe is like very pissed that Robert Pattinson did not like his lobster he made. Robert Pattinson's like, nah, dog, your lobster tastes like shit, bro. And Willem Dafoe stands up and does the most sailor pirate curse on him of all time, saying all sorts of shit about brimstone and coral and crap. And he's just like, Poseidon's trident, your gullet will turn to sea foam, and you'll get your pecker bit by a hermit crab wearing your mother's skull as a shell. And Robert Pattinson's like, holy shit. And he's standing over him and he's cursing him for like 5 minutes straight of him just saying weird shit about weird shit about barnacles and stuff, and yelling at him about Poseidon. And at the end, Robert Pattinson looks up at him and goes, okay, have it your way. Which is like the 1800s equivalent of okay, boomer. He hits him with a fucking okay, boomer. And, that kind of made the movie for me. But on to the next thing. No transitions, no verbal I'm still trying to think of what the fuck we talked about. Oh, me and Aqua, if this was a podcast with Aqua, this would probably be the point where we talked about Tarkov. I think we talked about for a little bit. And how great fucking Tarkov is. Because right now, me and Aqua are sitting high and mighty because Tarkov has gone from a micro niche game to a international sensation, and we're riding that wave. And I feel like we really needed it, because our channels were dying dead. And I think we've come to the realization that sometimes you have to reflect on yourself, and we were failing to reflect that our videos kind of sucked. We had kind of stagnated in terms of creativity. Now I'm going to stand behind my Red Dead video where like people were complaining about me abusing my horse, and so I made an entire video of nothing but horses getting fucked up. I thought that was pretty funny. But besides that, there were some less than inspired videos going on at the tail end of last year. And then I kind of decided to kick it up a notch, and it paid off. First with the Gusher Coom, then with the Tarkov. And I never would have seen Tarkov blowing up the way it did. But by God, when it did, it really changed things in a great way. But what sucks is while views are up and subscribers are up, we got like 45,000, 50,000 subs in the past 28 days. While that's up, my revenue is down. It's green arrows across the board. No money. So, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Eventually the CPM will pick up, hopefully. All right. So on to the thing about, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of streamers and stuff out there that are pissed off about all the influx of people coming to Tarkov. First and foremost, make better shit. If you were a Tarkov YouTuber or streamer and you're mad about all of a sudden Tarkov is an improvement, or it's big right now and everybody's looking at it, that does nothing but increase your odds of your YouTube channel popping off. You already have built-in content and people are now searching for that content like never before. You're at a better position now than ever to become big. Now, here's another great thing that I love is when small YouTubers and streamers always blame something else, blaming the YouTube algorithm for their inability to make it big. Now, a little bit of becoming big on YouTube and Twitch is luck. There is a little bit of luck involved, but there's also like 99% not sucking. If you're like, I almost guarantee if your videos are better than the people above you's videos, then your videos will become big. If you're offering something better than the people above you, then you will surpass them eventually. I guarantee it. unless the frequency is like once a year or something like that. But if your videos are awesome, then there's no reason that they won't become big. I see people on Twitter all the time. They're like, they need to ban these Twitch titty streamers because they are what are they doing? Oh, they're keeping an audience from coming to my stream. Dude, let me tell you something. If you think for a second that titty streamers are stealing your audience, do you really want those people? The people that are sitting there watching titty streamers are not the same as the people that want to watch your stupid ass do something on a game. Those are two different people. Don't even think for a second it's the same. Not only that, but I mean, I don't have a problem with titty streamers. If you're a streamer out there and you can garner attention by just having your tits sitting there, then good for you. Because that means that you are either distracting people from the fact that there's an address bar right there above your stream where they can at any point search up a video of a girl infinitely hotter than you doing shit infinitely more dirty than what you're doing right now. That means you're awfully distracting. And, you should be able to garner attention any way you can. And Twitch shouldn't stop you for that. But you know what? Apparently they have moral standards or something, some stupid shit like that. But I think you should shake them titties, girl. Get out there and be somebody. That's my thought process. The other thing is that if you're a tiny streamer on Twitch, don't start with Twitch. Never start with Twitch, dude. All you're doing is you're conducting an orchestra to nobody, and it's depressing. You want to be fucking depressed? If you are already having a bad day, and if you want to sit there and edge closer to that cliff of nothingness, emotional nothingness, then go find a game, and then go find a streamer at the bottom of the list that has no viewers and open that up. But find one where he has like a face cam and everything. He's trying to make it, go find one of those. And the second he sees that little number go up to 1, he will desperately claw at you to stay and interact. He'll be like, hey, buddy, what's going on? Hey, pal, what you doing, buddy? Hey, what do you think I should do right now, huh? Do you have any idea what I should do right now? I just feel like I should, what do you want to do? Huh? What do you want to talk about, bro? What's going on? They will do anything to hold on to you. And it's sad. At least when you make a YouTube video, you make a video based on something, put it out there. And if it doesn't make it, you're already making something else. It's out there and done. But you're not wasting hours of your life hoping that people are going to come into your room while you're sitting there fucking orchestrating away, and then it's just sad because then you'll just have VODs upon VODs of you just sitting there by yourself like a fucking loser. Get the audience first on YouTube and then open up a Twitch and be like, hey, come check out my stream. And at least have 10 people there. Then it's not depressing. Just have 10 people there. That's fine. But that in between from 0 people to 10, that is the biggest leap. Because that's when your stream goes from because there's not really much of a difference between a stream that has 100 viewers and one that has 5,000. Yeah, the chat moves faster and it's more pain in the ass to read, but you have people to interact with. But when you're just performing for nobody, it's basically depression encapsulated. This is one I couldn't talk about with Aqua because he would be all uncomfortable and upset. But I was on Twitter, right? And you know how Australia is burning down. Australia is just completely burned up, which really sucks because now with all the fire and everything raging through there and all the vegetation lost and animal life, they say 1 billion animals are dead now. And with all these fires raging, people are going to look at Australia as this desolate red wasteland, like the surface of Mars, which is unfortunate because it's such a lush tropical environment. But now that the countryside's forever scarred, they've been posting images on Twitter of like the horrible things that have happened to the animals caught in the fire and stuff. And there was one image that I, kind of jokingly made fun of, and it was a kangaroo that got caught up on a fence and he got burned alive, and he was just kind of hanging there, hanging out, like his arms were over the fence and he looked like he was smiling. He was kind of barbecued, and people got mad at me for making fun of that and making light of it. And then I'm sitting there thinking, if time had passed, they act like they fucking know this kangaroo. You don't know this kangaroo. It's on the other side of the world. All right? If time had passed, people would think it's okay. Like, everybody fucking makes fun of that guy that was whacking off in Pompeii. And he's like laying back, like whacking off, and the volcanic ash killed him. And so he was like forever entombed, whacking off. People make fun of that guy, and it's no problem. But I make fun of a kangaroo that died like 10 minutes ago, and all of a sudden I'm this horrible asshole. I bet you in 100 years, people are going to look back on that photograph of that fucking kangaroo and go, man, he's just vibing. He's just hanging out. He looks like he's having a grand old time. And nobody's going to get upset. Nobody, because it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be so disconnected, just like the Pompeii thing. Stalt, since I'm adding another list of your mini duties. If something seems like a bad PR move, you might want to cut it out. All right, now on to post-cum torture. All right, so which another segment that might get cut out. I don't know. So I found this service in Japan, right? And what the service is it's these ladies that go around, and it's called Healing Hands. And Healing Hands finds people that have physical disabilities or sometimes like mental problems where they can't self-consummate, right? And and sometimes it's like physical things where their hands are all curled up and stuff, and they literally cannot self-consummate. So these Healing Hands ladies, they go make appointments once a week. They come over and give you a quick Yankee yank. Now, that sounds like the most badass shit I've ever seen in my life. I have never envied mentally or physically disabled person until now. I was going to say a retarded person, but I don't think that's politically correct. So, isn't it, though? Like, people that are, like, if you're not using it as an insult, isn't, like, retarded, like, a medical condition? I've never, like, a retarded person, right? And that, because they have, like, the clinic for retarded peoples in South Florida, I believe. It's, like, on the sign. If it's, like, if I'm talking about a medical thing, that's not. Stalt, look that up. Just put a big yes or no on the screen if that's yes if it's politically correct, no if it's not politically correct.
Yes.
Well, now we know. Thank you. So anyways, I've never envied one of those people until I saw that. But then I watched the whole thing, which I'm not sure if that's even okay for me to do. Watch a video of a guy getting a medical procedure done where he just happens to coom at the end. But so I'm watching this thing, and yeah, what they do, they come around once a week for your appointment, and they whack you off, and everything was going great. I was like, hey, this guy's the envy of the world right now. He's got this Asian lady tugging on his wang, and I'm a fucking fully functioning guy with all my chromosomes and everything, and I can't even get an Asian girl to tug on my wang. So he's already plussing in my book. And then the end came. Now, here's the problem. Same thing if there was like a Healing Hands guy for girl thing, where like I was going around and doing that stuff to girls, is that there is no sensory loop with this lady. She's whacking off this guy, but she doesn't know what feels good and what doesn't. It may be her job. It doesn't mean it's her passion. You know what I mean? This lady's like, she's just cranking it, right? And so a tragedy strikes at the very end. So She's going to town on this guy. And right when he nuts, the second he nuts, she just turns into, oh, I'm a nurse cleaning out your bedpan. Like all compassion, all sense of like it's like she's never had a boyfriend. The second he nuts, she takes a fucking paper towel and just starts going on the head and like cleaning it off. I'm like, holy shit, lady. What if I took a fucking toothbrush to your clit the second you get off? Like, what the fuck? She starts yanking on this thing with paper towels and like cleans it off. And the whole time the guy's just going, ah! Ah! And, now that I'm laughing at it, Stott, you might want to cut this one out too. You be my moral compass. Have I gone too far? But like, come on, lady. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Let the guy, he probably called up and was like, hey, I'm having some problems here. Can't whack myself off. He didn't ask for some post-nut torture, like, unless he's into that, but you don't know. I don't think the dude can speak. Anyways, it looked like she was taking out all of her male frustration on this dude. And to be honest, I felt sorry for him. That's the end of that segment. Oh, yeah. While I'm at it, since, I was just flipping through the fucking old podcast I did with Aqua and trying to find talking points that I covered previously and I want to recover. But here's one that I forgot to cover. Because I was asking him if he's ever been recognized in public. Turns out he hasn't because, he's in New York City. Everybody looks at their fucking feet while they're down there. And they want to shy away from human contact for as long as possible. But I was at this Chinese restaurant day before yesterday, and I'm sitting there. This is the last time someone has come up to me and talked to me. And the guy was super nice, but I was in the middle of doing something. I'm sitting there talking to, have you guys ever been to like a Chinese place where like the people speak Chinese? Nice burp. And the host, the guy that owns the place, totally doesn't speak much English. And so he comes in and he's like, hey, what's your order? Except for he said it in an incredibly like Chinese accent. And I don't want to copy it because then people are going to be like, oh, Sam's racist. Because apparently it's racist to mimic someone's accent, I guess. So anyways, he was like, hey, what's your order? And I was like, it's under Abby. And he's like, okay, what'd you have? And I was like, I don't think it's just fucking Chinese food. It's all the same. I was like, chicken stuff, rice probably is in there. I don't know, some shit. Abby ordered some shit. I'm here to pick it up. And he's sitting there digging through it, and I'm like, General Tso's orange chicken. And then this guy comes up and he goes, hi, my name's James. And he like sticks his hand out and like makes me shake it. And I was like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. And he's like, hey, I didn't know you lived in town. I was like, well, yeah, that's where people live, is in towns, and I'm in one. And he's like, well, it's great to meet you, dude. I was just eating lunch. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then the whole time the guy's just like, okay, sign the receipt. And I was like, hold on. And I was like, and the guy was like still talking to me. Dude's yelling at me to get my signature. And then he puts it on his little lectern thing, which is at an angle for some reason. It's not just a desk. And he's holding the end of it. He's like, signature. He's like tapping it. And so I grab the pen and I'm trying to like, I'm left-handed. So I'm like, dude, I need to like use my left hand. I try to grab the receipt. He won't let go of it. And he has like this plant right here and the receipt's right here. And so I'm like, dude, I can't sign, or because this guy's right fucking here shaking my hand and everything. I'm like frustrated. I'd never leave my house. So I'm absolutely just perplexed having this Asian dude screaming at me and this guy's Mr. Boy Scout shaking my hand. And so I'm like, I'm left-handed. I got to sign this thing. And so I like go to move this plant that he had and he just goes, don't touch. Because apparently it was Velcroed to the fucking table. And I just go, dude, I'm left-handed. I can't sign this. He has no idea what the fuck I'm saying. So I just kind of like snatch the receipt from him and make eye contact, sign it, and then hand it back to him. And like, I was so frustrated by the time I got out there. And my mom's like, why are you sweating? You were in there for like 10 seconds. What the fuck are you, like, beads of sweat? I don't do well in social situations. You know me. And so anyways, if you're a person and you see like someone you know that you want to go up and talk to, make sure they're not trying to break the language barrier at the time. That would be fucking great. Anyways, James, nice to meet you, dude. You seem like a swell guy. I can't wait to see you again sometime in town. I appreciate you coming up. All right, so right now, that whole like two types of Tarkov players thing has kind of bopped off. You know what I'm saying? Like it's getting big, and which is fine because there are literally two types of Tarkov players. There's no positive or negative for each one. There's the people that are the rats that are kind of scared to use their gear, and they're all about like having income. And then there's the people that have no gear fear, and they're always poor because they just use everything as they get it. There's no problem there. You can argue for each side. That's what's so beautiful about it. Apparently on the subreddit, it's become its own thing outside of beyond me in Aqua. And it's people are arguing their case for whether or not they're a Chad or a rat, and they're defending it, which is awesome. But here's the thing, is people think I am the creator of the rat. All right. And all I got in my DMs was from Poob. If you guys remember Poob from some of those Rust videos and stuff, and from the Discord, Poob sent me, it was a screen cap of someone's comment under one of my tweets where they had replied to my tweet and called me like the Rat Lord or Rat King or something. And all he did was he just clipped that fucking comment and just DM'd it to me. And it sent shivers down my spine. I've never felt more threatened in my goddamn life. Because if you're in the Discord, you know that, first of all, the second you come into the Discord, you're labeled a rat person. And that's been that way since like 2017. Poob started the whole rat thing outside of Tarkov. It was his thing. He had some weird fascination with rats. I don't know why. Something about just being a rat really drove him crazy. So he made the whole rat people thing, and then he was the Rat Lord, I think, or Rat King or something. And the rats were his people, the lowest of the low. And basically, if you don't have any other role, then you're a rat, and you were one of Poob's. And on the Discord right now, there's 24,000 rats. And so he has like all this rat-related imagery and stuff. And independently of that, when me and Aqua were playing, we would always talk about me like scurrying away from stuff and like going down into the sewers through the manhole extract. And it like the rat thing came up on its own with the whole Peter Pettigrew thing. and I hadn't thought about it, but like the second we did it, I started like going, oh, I have all these rat pictures and stuff from when Poob was doing his whole rat thing in my like response images folder on my computer. So I started using those, and then Poob sees it and he's like, is he stealing my entire persona of being the Rat King? And so I apologize. I owe everything to Poob. That's what I'm saying. Everything I am, Poob. I'm sorry, Poob. I didn't mean to steal your Rat King thing. And everybody's saying I stole it from Theo Von. I looked up who Theo Von is. He's some redneck guy with a mullet. And I can assure you, I did not steal it from Theo Von. Nor did I steal it from, what's that guy, that rapper from like the Bronx or Brooklyn or some shit? His name's Wiki. They have a rap collective called Rat King, which I prefer over Theo Von, to be honest. But I can assure you it's from Poob. And I don't know where Poob's been, though. But that's where I got all the rat-related crap. And I apologize, Poob. But you know what? I'm keeping it. What are you gonna do about it? You know what I'm gonna do? At the end of this Stalt, I want you to actually, you know what? Put it right here and now. Right here and now. Keep this out of the audio version. But I want you guys to see Poob's ascension to power. Poob made an entire a fucking presentation on PowerPoint describing why he deserves to become an admin on our Discord. It was the most impressive thing I've ever seen. Roll the clip.
Hi, this is my quest for power. Aww. Let's move into slide 2. Let's start with some background. I'll let my man take it away. I don't know how to click that. Hold on. I'm still on the marker and I don't know how to get off that. Okay, hold on. There we go. Hey guys, this is the background section. We'll start right off. Poob has been in Discord since before it went public. I feel like this one's very important. Loyalty, support, integrity. Poob like power. Poob has never abused his power. Poob is a smart man with a big education. You know, I'm going to college, things are going well. I win AoE matches. Let's move on to the next slide. Hey guys, this is background continued. Hey guys, as you can see by this graph, there's some pretty big issues here. The time in the Discord is the first section, so you'll notice Steve and Stalt came in way later, and they're never here because they're doing probably illegal stuff. I've been here since 6. Power obtained in this time. There's been an unequal balance here. I really faltered and went down to 1 power. They got 6 though. Cool guy points. Once again, this does not do a good job at representing the power obtained, because I have way more. I also have 0 meat hair, and they do. They have a lot of meat hair. Let's move on. Hey guys. No. God damn it. Hey guys, it's me. So, plan 1 of 3. This is called the bare minimum plan. It's what I at least expect after all this. You could do more though. But, you know, let's dive right in. The first thing that we could do is give me the Nadeko roll back. Or at least put my roll, Bionicle God, over that so I can give it to myself. The benefits, power, short-term satisfaction, and no rat attacks. The cons, though. This roll isn't sexy. No one looks at Nadeko and is impressed. Poob will crave more. It doesn't make me a god king. So, once again, just kind of falls back into the craving more. Plan 2, the upgrade. Let's just dive right into this one. Hey guys, it's me. Plan 2. I like to call this one the upgrade. Throw in a little smiley face icon next to that. This is the most reasonable, I'd say, of the 3 plans. Probably, you know, a good happy medium. It would require changes to my role. It'd just be giving me the administrator function, basically. The pros, I'd smile. I'd say thanks. No. Hey guys. No. Fuck. Hey guys, it's me. Shit. Okay, let's just start this one over. No big deal, guys. Throw in a little smiley face icon next to that. This is the most reasonable, I'd say, of the 3 plans. Probably, you know, a good happy medium. It would require changes to my role. It'd just be giving me the administrator function, basically. The pros, I'd smile. I'd say thanks. And I'd skip. The cons, I want plan 3. Pain. Pepper and spice make everything nice. Thanks. Sorry for the technical difficulties on that one. The technicalities. Hey guys, it's me. Plan 3, I like to call this one the ambitious boy. It is the most ambitious of the 3. It's also the most powerful. It would require one of 2 things, your choice. Either give me the Papa Rabbi role, you know, or another role created specifically for me. There'd be a God King role. You don't have to name it that. Just something, you know, that gives me power over Others, just Stalt, Steve, just the classics. Thanks. The pros, I'd farted and shitted and caned. There's no cons. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Hey guys. In summary, really glad this worked out. Are you single? Thanks, everyone. Agree to disagree? Let's talk it out. Take time to find love. Anger is pain. Cake is worse than ice cream. Cunt. Thanks. Now read the first letter. Hey, thanks everyone for watching. It's been great. It's great. Thanks. Good for having you. Thanks.
All right. Now that's a power play, isn't it? God damn. Well, who would say no to that? It was so powerful, you know? Like, I've seen people beg for roles. I've seen people try to weave political ties for roles. But I've never seen someone just come in with a presentation and just assert their dominance quite like that. It was incredible. But on to the final thing before I end this. This is going to be a short podcast because horrible fuck-ups happened, god damn it. But what was the last thing? Oh, yeah. My final question for Aqua. It was a doozy, too. You guys should have seen it. There was incredible back and forth. There was pontificating, ruminating even. There was talks of social reform and toppling of empires. It was big brain stuff. No, my final question to him was, if you could have anybody to be your full squad on Tarkov, right? That's my chair squeaking. It's not me ripping weird farts. Like, my chair's, it's a piece of shit IKEA chair. Don't worry about it. It's just a placeholder until I get the Eames lounge chair. When I get that, dude, oh, you are going to see some shit. You are going to see some shit. I'm going to be so lounged back and relaxed. You guys have no idea. But, so I asked him, I was like, if you could have anybody in your 5-man, you plus 4 people, anybody, alive or dead, who would you have on Tarkov? And I think he answered like Pastilli 4 times. Like, if you could clone that man 4 times, you'd have him on there. And I was like, no, it doesn't have to be a Tarkov player. It could be anybody. And so he picked like a bunch of comedians, right? I guess because of the potential to make videos. But he's thinking in a YouTuber's mind. I was thinking in a practical rat mind, you know? I think the first person, I've thought about this long and hard. Days have been spent putting together a crack team of 5 people. Who would I have as my 5 people? Myself included, of course, because someone's got to get out with the loot, you know what I'm saying? So slot number 1, team leader is going to have to be Danny Ocean from the Ocean's 11 series. All right, you got to have someone to case the joint. Tech building, what's in it? What are the ingresses? What are the egresses? What are the exfiltrations? What are the infiltrations? You know, you got to have some map knowledge. I want him to case it like he did that fucking casino from Ocean's 11. And I don't want him held back by the other 10 people. I want it to just be Ocean 1 in my team. So I guess altogether would be Ocean's 5. Now, the second person on my list would be Prapor, the merchant. I want to have him in the fucking raid with me so I can hold his big bald fucking head up to an item and go, what's it worth? What? How much money will you give this? Give to me for this right now? What's it worth right now? I don't want to sit there and go like, oh, it's a thermometer. I guess it's worth something. You know, I'll put it in my container and hope for the best. I want to know right then, what's that worth? And that I would have him. And my third person would definitely be that Native American guy from Predator. You know who I'm talking about? 2 reasons. 1, you got to have at least one Chad. You got to have someone when the shit hits the fan, he's able to start hitting nails. You know what I'm saying? Hammering it home. You know, someone's got to be there to flex a little bit, to get the girls wet a little bit, to make the bitches scared a little bit. And he would be our poster boy. He wouldn't be the rich guy. You know, that's me. But he would be the guy we put in the forefront to send a message. You know, he's our muscle, our thug. But he's got to be the Native American guy from Predator because he's smart. He's a tracker. You know, when he walks up to that fucking vine and he cuts it and he drinks it and he looks around and goes, "He's here." Fucking, he somehow knows there's like an invisible guy up in the trees. Like he can just sense it. That's the kind of shit. I want him to be on reserve with me and just go. It picks up some shit off a trash pile and eats it. There's someone looking at us through a scope. I want that sixth sense, you know? And not only that, but he kind of has a sense of self-sacrifice because he stays on that log wooden bridge thing in Predator and he sacrifices himself for the greater good. That's what I want. And that's also the same quality that gets me to my fourth person, my fifth overall person of who I would have on my team. And you would say, "Oh, Sam, well, you already got the Native American guy. Who else you going to get? Who else you going to get there that's better than him?" I can tell you, dude, this last person is bigger, better, stronger, more beautiful than that Native American guy could ever be. It's my mom. I'm going to have my mom as my fifth. You know why? I was thinking about it like this. When shit hits the fan, when we're being surrounded on all sides, things are looking grim, right? And you see that manhole cover for the extract over the horizon. And we're running for it. And things aren't looking good for me. Okay, I might be bleeding already. Might have a broken leg. But in that backpack, I got some graphics cards. I got some LED X's. I got some bullshit from a marked room, right? And it doesn't seem like I'm going to make it. And times are dire. Who do you think's going to sacrifice themselves for me? That Native American guy? No. But your mom. Moms are they're like destined for that. That's like after a mom has had their kid and they've realized, oh, my biological purpose is over with. I passed on my DNA. Nothing left for me to do except die. They're looking for any excuse to like sacrifice themselves for their kid. And dude, if it means me crawling through that manhole with 4 rubles worth of shit, then by God, Mom, you stand in front of those AKs and take those bullets. Daddy's got to get home and sell some shit. All right, this is the end of this short-ass episode. Go suck a fart out of your mom's ass.